Update to our Eclipse lesson from 2017. This one is for 2024, April 8th. It's important to put them on correctly because they're so dark, you can't see anything. Wow, that's great. And then, oh my gosh, guys. So, sit down, head down, glasses on, look up. Oh, cool. Ooh, head down, glasses off. You see I labeled these, the yellow are the lighter, easier to see through. And these are the darker ones. Here you'll see that the darker ones have the ISO 12312-2, and the lighter ones have the matching ISO 12312-2. So I don't know. These are older. I got these back in 2017. Do they get darker over time? I don't know. I tried looking at the sun the other day with the lighter ones, and it was okay. It was kind of bright. Another great way is making a pinhole projector. I have a video about how to use this. But I want to show you how to make one. It's really simple. One thing the videos and the internet don't show you is you want to seal up the edges and the corners with some dark tape because you don't want any light in there except what's coming through here. And you cut out two identical, that's what I did, identical size holes here. You cover it with aluminum foil for two reasons. One, it's opaque, so it doesn't let anything through except for the hole. And two, it's so thin that when you put a push pin hole in here, it makes a really neat circle that doesn't have anything else in the way. I've tried different size holes and I keep going back to just the little pinhole, the really tiny little hole. The bigger the hole, the more light goes through, but then the more blurry it is. There's something about this tiny size that allows a crisp image to show up on the inside. Another neat way to do it is with a tube. And this tube is a Pringles can, you can tell. And on one end, you see I made the whole tube big with a nail. So I covered it with aluminum foil and then I made it smaller with just a push pin. Works better that way. And then on the other end, put a piece of paper. This is index card, but paper works fine. And then you just cut out a window here so you can see. This is gonna be the movie screen, so to speak, right there. And you're gonna point this like a telescope at the sun, and a light will shine through that little pinhole and it will show up right here. Now you're hopefully wondering what this guy is. It was a box from a birthday present and I almost threw it away and I realized it looks a lot like a tube. And so I did the same thing, put a hole up here with a little pinhole and actually made another over here to look through, but looking so far down, even though the object's bigger, it's farther away, which makes it look smaller. So I ended up cutting one down here. I chose that curly light bulb on purpose so that would be able to see the squiggly lines and not just a round shape, which I think is really cool. For perspective, it's much bigger inside the box than the actual bulb is on the outside. Back to the regular potato chip can size here. I'm just gonna use it like a telescope. I'm gonna point it. I'm not gonna look at the sun. I'm gonna point it at the sun. And then I'm going to look on the screen on the inside. And sure enough, there's that curly light bulb we talked about. And that will change shape as the sun, as the eclipse blocks the sun out. Making your own eclipse, making it disappear slowly and then reappear. And how am I doing that? My finger, of course, on the top. For the cereal box pinhole projector, we practice, don't look at the sun. Instead, you turn your back to the sun. In the box. And sure enough, and there it is. Clear as day inside the cereal box. That's just cool. No mirrors, no trick photography, just a cereal box with a hole and a place to look inside. Remember, you want to seal up those corners so there's no light getting in except for through the pinhole. And this part you're gonna cover up with your head. I like to look through it this way. And if you have a big head like me, or you have hair on top, you could just turn it sideways. And then you just tilt this around until you start to see the light bulb shining through the pinhole. So cool. And the easiest and cheapest, because it's free, is just 2 pieces of paper you find around the house. I tried 2 different holes. The little one is crisper but smaller, so I made this one a little bit bigger. Not on these guys. In fact, not on the cereal boxes either. But on the paper, I just found this one to be a bit better. And all you do, hold this up, and then there it is. And you just separate them until the light gets a little bit bigger. There you can see the shape of the light, or the sun during the eclipse. And then of course, when the eclipse comes, it'll fade away, and then it'll come back. How did I do that? I just slipped my finger over the hole there. So simple, kids love it. And for total darkness in there, you might even consider wrapping the whole thing in aluminum foil, which is totally opaque. Pinhole projector for the eclipse. View it safely. So cool. Ah!